Myanmar, I'm Henry Zin. Welcome to MI Radio's Myanmar Today. We'll be bringing the latest news and reports from around Myanmar. First off, a report on current condition of Yangon-Bathane Highway upgrading. A report on Business 4.0 ICT Talk. For fashion lovers, a report on multicolored Indonesia fashion show. And lastly, a report on Grab food in Myanmar with proven technologies. Now, before we get to the reports, why don't we have a look at what's happening in local news. President Win Myint visited the National Library, located on Merchant Street in Babedan Township, to inspect renovation works there. Union Minister for Religious Affairs and Culture, Thura Uwangko, explained the renovation works, budget expenditures, yearly renovation processes, and tender invitation for installment of the digital library and library automation under the management of the Yangon region government. The president remarked that the National Library was intended for citizens from all social strata, and that it was relocated to the hub of Yangon City to promote the general knowledge and intellectual capacity of the people, and that it would be beneficial for the country. The president also called for ensuring strict construction standards and cost-effective renovation and stressed the need for the Yangon region government to closely monitor the tender-winning company. He also said that the National Library would be of benefit to the country if it was widely used by both common people and professionals. State Councillor Daw Aung San Suu Kyi attended the first Mekong ROK Summit in Busan, South Korea on Wednesday. The State Councillor was welcomed by South Korean President Moon Jae-in at Nurimaru APEC House in Busan. The State Councillor said ROK's new Southern Policy, ASEAN ROK Cooperation and the Mekong ROK Cooperation are supportive towards one another and assist in the establishment of peaceful, people-centered societies in the region. She said as the protection of all life forms and preservation of the natural environment is important for all nations and proposed that Myanmar be allowed to serve as the host country for the establishment of the Mekong ROK Cooperation Biodiversity Protection Center. She also expressed gratitude to ROK for funding projects conducted in Myanmar under the Mekong ROK Cooperation. A coordination meeting of the High-Level Working Group on Cooperation of Labour Affairs was held at the Ministry of Labour, Immigration and Population in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. Union Minister U Thein Sui said ILO celebrated their centenary in Yangon on 21st of October this year, in conjunction with the 14th National Tripartite Dialogue Forum. He said ILO's Deputy Director General Greg Vines attended both events and constructive results from discussions there were carried over to the 337th ILO Governing Bodies session. He said this resulted in the removal of facts distorted from the reality on the ground, from the proposal by the US and Labour Representative Group to apply pressure on Myanmar. The Union Minister said that Myanmar's permanent representative said ILO's decision will give Myanmar enough time to show its improvements by the 338th session in March 2020. He said cooperation with both employers and workers is required in implementing the national complaints mechanism. He also said methods to resolve reports of forced labor and setting up standard operating procedures will be needed when the National Committee has been approved. The new national health policy will need to prioritize prevention of common non-communicable diseases, but also lists all items in order of priority, along with assigning concise tasks, all the while managing effective management and equitable distribution of the necessary resources for all endeavors. Union Minister for Health and Sports Dr. Myen Tway made this remark during a meeting with the Advisory Committee to redraft the National Health Policy in Naypyidaw on Tuesday. The Union Minister said they are organizing a meeting in December to gather ideas and suggestions for a new national health policy by inviting LOTO representatives, related departments, UN agencies, NGOs and INGOs, donor organizations, CSOs and affiliated groups working in the health sector. Dr. Myen Tway also said that the new policy must incorporate action plans, an implementation framework, cooperation framework, an action monitoring system, a research conducting system, and a reliable system to share healthcare information. The Union Minister also said his ministry has opened training courses on research skills and critical analysis at the Research Training Center. Well, that's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. Yangon-Batain Highway is an essential in Myanmar, connecting some of the states and regions along with major cities, and the upgrading for this highway agreement with a loan from ADB and ASEAN Infrastructure Fund was revised in 2018. However, the work to upgrade the highway has not commenced due to some reasons. Myanmar Today discussed the current condition of highway upgrade at its second time 14th regular session on Wednesday. Willinson reports.
Under the terms of build, operate, and transfer, Yangon-Batain Highway upgrading has been underway after reviving the contract by the Road Management Department under the Ministry of Construction. Yangon-Batain Highway is more than 110 miles long highway, and the condition of the road in the past had not been up to the standard. The new revised contract will make sure that the highway meets ASEAN Class 3 standard, where the highway will have 2 lanes thoroughfares at least 18 feet wide or 5.5 meters. Initially, the contract was allotted to several companies by Tamil government for the construction and maintenance of the highway, but it was reported that the highway was poorly maintained. Therefore, under the new revised contract, Yangon-Batain Highway will meet ASEAN Class 3 standard to ensure the quality of the highway. On 27th of November, Usomo, the representative of Ayawari Region Constituency 1, raised a question at Myanmar on the current condition of Yangon-Batain Highway upgrading, saying the process to upgrading the highway takes extensive time and it has been delayed for long due to negotiation between ADB and related ministries. He said,
Yangon-Batain Highway Upgrading Project is one of the 3 projects to be carried out with $360 million from ADB, Asian Development Bank, and ASEAN Infrastructure Fund. But somehow the project has been in delay and the work has not commenced till today. In the fiscal year of 2019 to 2020, the upgrading of the highway includes paving the concrete road over the existing one, which is from the end of Yangon region to Bomyatum Bridge. The length is from about 40 to 71 kilometers and the width 9.14 meters. Yangon-Batain Highway is 180 kilometers long, and what we would like to know is the project will be carried out with initial loan from ADB and ASEAN Infrastructure Fund, or it will be carried out using the budget allotted by the government for the remaining parts of the highway. And I also would like to know when will the project be finished.
In response to the question raised by Usomo, Ujolin, Deputy Minister for the Ministry of Construction, said more than 110 miles long Yangon-Batain Highway construction contract was signed on 1st of April in 2008 with Oriental Highway Company under BOT terms and conditions. Only about 1,000 vehicles used this highway before 2008, but after 2008, the number of vehicles have ever increased, and now it becomes approximately 4,000 vehicles passing through this highway daily. Ujolin explains.
To commence the project, temporary transfer agreement has been signed in 2018 between ADB and Oriental Highway Company, and then we will continue the work under the plan of ADB. Under the plan of ADB, we need to choose consultant, carry out feasibility study in details and environmental resettlement program. We have to work closely with the consultant in calling the tender and contractors, which usually take 2 to 3 years. As upgrading this highway is one of the top priorities for the government, we also urge the higher official for the speedy process of the work, knowing the importance of this highway for the people.
Ujolin also stated that paving the highway with concrete has already commenced in Yangon region, but due to big number of vehicles on the highway, the work cannot be done as expected. The construction work between Yangon region will be completed by June of 2020, according to Ujolin. Some of the main other hindrances for the construction of the highway are removing electricity pole, trees, and relocating natural gas pipeline along the highway. The government has already compensated using 24.46 billion kyats for the residents, but as the project is being carried out with collaboration of few ministries, there are also areas where these ministries have to collaborate together for the work, which is why it is taking longer time than other projects. This is Winlinson reporting for MI Radio.
That's a report on current condition of Yangon-Pathane Highway upgrading. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. In Yangon, it will be mostly cloudy during the day and mainly clear skies at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s, but of course the temperature will cool off at night at about 22 degrees Celsius. The winds traveling at 9 kilometers per hour. In Naypyidaw, nice weather, partly sunny during the day and will have clear skies at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s as well, but of course with the temperature cooling off at night at around 20 degrees Celsius. And there's winds of up to 6 kilometers per hour. In Mandalay, lovely weather with plenty of sunshine during the day and there'll be clear skies at night. The temperature throughout the day will be in the 30s, but the cool-off in the night time, with perhaps a bit of winter breeze, would compensate for the entire day's heat. Well, we have another report coming up, and then we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates. Business 4.0 ICT Talk show will be held next month on the 9th of December at the MICT Park Conference Hall. The talk show and panel discussion will be about Business 4.0 to innovate the business with AI, blockchain, IoT, big data, and other ICT tools that we have in our hands in this digital age. David Tanner will tell us more.
Business 4.0 is a subset of the Fourth Industrial Revolution that concerns industry. The Fourth Industrial Revolution encompasses areas which are not normally classified as an industry, such as smart cities, for instance. With that said, we will find out the detail about the Business 4.0 ICT Talk show from U Min Koko, who is the chairman of Yangon Region Commuter Industry Association's Public Relations Committee.
Yangon Region Computer Industry Association has been doing this kind of ICT talk show every 4 months to promote and give awareness regarding the current circumstances in the changes of ICT development and its connection with the business sector. This time, we named the talk show as Business 4.0 or Industry 4.0, which is to innovate the business with AI, blockchain, big data, etc.
In essence, Business 4.0 is the trend towards automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies and processes, which include cyber physical systems, CPS, the Internet of Things, IoT, Industrial Internet of Things, IIoT, cloud computing, cognitive computing, and artificial intelligence. U Min Koko also added who are the panelists for this ICT talk.
For this ICT talk show, Dr. Zonai of Mandalay Technology will be the moderator of the panel discussion. And there will be 4 panelists for the discussion, which include the rector of the University of Information Technology, Dr. Sosanda A., the president of Yangon Region Computer Professional Association, U Aung Somo, CEO of Trustlink Company, U Ngui Thon, and CEO of the Model Health Market, U Aung Kokotet. All of the panelists are professionals who have been using Business 4.0 to innovate their business with AI, blockchain, IoT, and big data.
Why is ICT a must and a change is not an option, but why it becomes a must in this present circumstances will be explained by U Min Zo, who is the secretary of Yangon Region Commuter Industry Association.
ICT
Well, I think we don't have even to explain how ICT has been having an impact not only in the business sector, but also in every second of our daily life. As soon as we get up from the bed, we start to have interaction with ICT, maybe through phones or tablets, etc. This is why businesses should also keep in track with all these innovations and developments, or else we will get knocked back. And there comes the business 4.0, which is to foster what has been called a smart factory. Within modular structured smart factories, cyber physical systems monitor physical processes, create a virtual copy of physical wall, and make decentralized decision over the internet.
ICT Talk season.
How will this Business 4.0 ICT Talk show might impact the public and the business sector has also been discussed.
ရှိမှာပါဘာလို့လဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုယ်နိုင်လဲဒါကျွန်တော်လုပ်ငန်းရှင်အသင်းလုပ်ငန်းရှင်တွေဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်မလို့ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအရာတွေကိုမျက်ခြေမပြတ်အောင်အမြဲတမ်းလေ့လာနေရပါတယ်တချို့နည်းနည်းလေးနောက်ကျသွားတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့တော့မျက်ခြေပြတ်သွားတဲ့အပိုင်းတွေရှိပါတယ်
In my perspective, this panel discussion will impact to the people, those who are willing to accelerate their business through ICT and keep on the track of Business 4.0 and how it might impact the country over time. As you know, we have been finding the information of this Business 4.0 for us to be involved in the change.
သူတို့လုံနိုင်တဲ့ဟာတွေအများကြီးသူတို့အတွက်လည်း idea တွေရသွားစေမယ်လို့တော့ကျွန်တော်ယုံကြည်ပါတယ်
Reporter David Tanner reporting from Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Business 4.0 ICT Talk. And here we have the information on currency rates from Myanmar Central Bank. $1 is at 1,512 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 215 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,665 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,944 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,107 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 362 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 50 kyats and the Indian rupee is at 21 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,456. Silver is at $16. And Brent crude oil is at $57. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI went up 500 and it's at 12,000. MTSH dropped 50 and it's at 3,950. MCB is at 8,300. FPB is at 22,500. TMH dropped 50 and it's at 2,950. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch many other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. As part of the celebration of the 70th anniversary of Myanmar-Indonesia diplomatic relations, Indonesian Embassy in Myanmar hosted a fashion show, Multicolored Indonesia, showcasing the different garments from the provinces of Indonesia. The fashion show kicked off on Wednesday at Wyndham Grand Hotel in Yangon. DJ Henry Zin has more.
Being the members of ASEAN, Myanmar and Indonesia have strong bilateral relationships since 70 years ago. To commemorate the 70th anniversary of Myanmar-Indonesia diplomatic relations, the Embassy of Indonesia in Myanmar has been organizing different events sharing the traditions and culture. As part of the celebration, the fashion show called Multicolor Indonesia was organized on 27 November at Wyndham Grand Hotel, Yangon. The event was attended by the Indonesian ambassador, His Excellency Professor Dr. Isa Fadri, Director of Strategic Studies and Training Department of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Myanmar, Dosanadin, and invited guests.
We want to show about the culture, about the thing, clothes, and what the philosophy of the clothes, and about the batik. We have many area, and we want to develop all of the type of batik, and we want to share with Myanmar people. And I think we can share and develop many color of dress or clothes like that.
First of all, I would like to mention that this year Indonesia and Myanmar celebrate 70th years anniversary of diplomatic relations. So since July until now, we have series of events. We have Indonesian Festival, Indonesian Food Festival. Previously, it was about art, culture, and food. Now, it's extended into fashion. We would like to introduce Indonesian fashion like this. The fabric, the garments, this one. So it would be not Indonesia is famous with Java and Bali, but we want Myanmar people know more about Indonesia. So there would be garments from Kalimantan, from Padang, from Aceh, from Lampung. So basically, we would like Myanmar people know that like Myanmar, we are also multicultural, plural and multi-ethnic, so it will show from the dresses that we wear.
The fashion show showcased the different Indonesian garments, and some of them are specially designed for the show.
There will be about 12 costumes and the models, because it's also about friendship. We are asking our colleagues from ASEAN countries to join. They would be models, the diplomats, our friends. Even I should highlight that spouses of the ambassador of United States, Saudi Arabia, Bangladesh, and Turkey would also join as the models. So it's about friendship, mainly friendship between Indonesia and Myanmar, and also our friends all over the world. We have differences are okay, as long as we celebrate differences, as long as we embrace it, as long as we gather around, we don't care about differences. There are differences exist, but we have also similarities, so we can be friends. And Indonesia is like that. I'm sure Myanmar is also like that. That's what we would like to emphasize.
In the event, some traditional items of Indonesia are also sold, and Myanmar people like to buy some because Indonesian fabrics are famous in Myanmar and the two countries have similar dressing styles.
2 months ahead, that's why we also went back to Indonesia to bring the costumes, the fabrics, the garments. So it would be special. So it would be original, authentic Indonesia.
Through the celebrations of the 70th anniversary of diplomatic relations, the two countries are eager to share more about the culture and the traditions to make the mutual understanding stronger.
We want to make maybe like a capacity building each other. We want to learn in Myanmar and Myanmar learn in Indonesia. We want the Myanmar prosperity for Myanmar and justice for Myanmar and all of the people happy.
That's all for now. This is Dora Susan from MI Radio.
That's a report on Multicolored Indonesia fashion show. And here's the last report on Grab Food in Myanmar with proven technologies. Grab has launched its online food delivery service Grab Food in Myanmar, initiating in 9 townships in Yangon. Myanmar will be the 7th country that Grab Food launched in. And for more on this technologically delicious report, our interns at MI Radio made an effort to have it deliver to us. Here's the report.
GrabFood is the most popular food delivery service in Southeast Asia and has heralded a revolution in eating habits across the region. For Myanmar people, Grab is still known as a taxi application, promising hot and fresh deliveries 7 days a week. Grab has launched its online food delivery service, GrabFood in Myanmar, at Yangon Sailing Club on 26 November in collaboration with delivery partners and merchants. Launching GrabFood in Myanmar is a milestone to becoming the everyday app for consumers. As Grab Taxi collects users' information, it can provide GrabFood with necessary data and can make it ahead of any other food delivery services in the country. Grab Taxi can get users' data from initial registration to the routes they take. For example, like going to their favorite restaurants. The head of GrabFood Myanmar, Gomyak Gaumin, tells us more about this.
We have launched in every other Southeast Asian country, every other major Southeast Asian country there is. So we have been serving about 180 million customers for food so far. And Myanmar will be the 7th country. And Yangon will be the very first city that we're launching in. And so this event will be the introduction of GrabFood to the press and our VIP partners. So in every other Southeast Asian country, the motorbikes are the mainstay, the main form of transport for all GrabFood orders. But what happened is in Myanmar, specifically in Yangon, bikes are banned. So we have to make do with an alternative form of transport in terms of bicycles. We currently have about 50 merchants and about 350 to about 400 outlets, and we will be fully onboarding them by December. For the merchant partners, we are helping them grow. We're not just fulfilling their demand. What we do is we actually invest in marketing for our merchant partners.
The launch of GrabFood in Myanmar also creates new job opportunities for those seeking first-time employment. The delivery partner can benefit from potential earnings up to 600,000 kyat per month. GrabFood delivery partner Go Zayapyo shared his experiences to MI Radio.
With GrabFood, we are not workers but feel like a partner to them. And so we don't need to curry favor with anyone. I have worked in restaurants before. I choose this job because I don't want to serve as a worker. And there isn't much difficulty as a delivery cyclist. It is also convenient as our salary is paid with CB Pay. I found this recruitment on Facebook. GrabFood can increase the youth income. For example, for the high school graduates without job experience, it is not easy to earn 300,000 kyats. But here, we can earn from 300,000 kyats to 600,000 kyats per month.
Country head of Grab Myanmar, Ms. Cindy Ton, shared her opinions on the food delivery market in Myanmar and how to promote Myanmar traditional food from this platform.
I think the key difference of Grab Myanmar versus other countries is that their markets are generally more advanced. So the way our team sees it, it's such a wide open space now. There's no real established and players. There's a lot of merchants who have their own version of a delivery service, and this is where Grab can come in because we can actually, consolidate all that effort, reduce the overhead of our merchant partners, and make it more cost efficient for them. And for the eaters, there's still a lot of pain points that can be addressed by Grab. When we make a food delivery service, this is not just about promoting big chains, right, or big partners. Actually, across Southeast Asia, it's been Grab's commitment to really root itself in the countries where we're at and be able to promote what is intrinsic to the cultures in the countries that we operate. So traditional food, right, definitely will be on the platform. So these are one of our key priorities, and that's why we've actually partnered with brands like Rangoon Tea House, right, which are local, because we want to make sure that we're able to cater to that need of the Myanmar public.
GrabFood believes it has the right formula and techniques for users to easily place orders. So Yangon residents can enjoy date nights at home, celebrate occasions with loved ones.
And that's all the reports on Myanmar Today. Now let's carry on with international news. According to a group of scientists, critical elements in the Earth's climate may be more likely to break down than previously thought. Their commentary in the journal Nature says there's growing evidence that irreversible climatic changes could be triggered within a few decades. The authors claim this could lead to a climatic emergency in which one shift amplifies another. But other researchers say the argument is speculative. The authors specialize in what's known as Earth systems science, which studies the interactions of elements of the climate system. For several years, they have been promoting the theory that the climate may switch suddenly as a result of one climatic shift amplifying other changes. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change introduced this idea of tipping points 2 decades ago. The commentary says that at the time, these large-scale shifts were considered likely only if global warming exceeded 5 degrees Celsius. In other news, Twitter has said it will pause plans to disable inactive accounts following user backlash, a day after announcing plans for a huge cull of such accounts. The social network said it now would not remove accounts until it had a process for memorializing dead users on the network. It admitted not having a policy in place was a miss on our part. The firm said it was taking action on inactive accounts due to regulatory concerns. It said once it had a full process in place, account deactivations would occur in the EU first. This was in order, Twitter said, to comply with the General Data Protection Regulation. On Monday, Twitter had begun contacting users who hadn't logged in the past 6 months, warning them that they would have their accounts deleted unless they sign in and agree to the firm's latest privacy policy. Well, that's going to wrap it up on today's Myanmar Today. Thank you for joining me, and you have a good day. I'm Henry Zin. See you again.